So now that we have a basic ball game working with circular collisions, if we execute it, we can see everything's working. The next step would be to add several more balls. Now, this would usually be, not terribly hard, but as we get more and more balls involved, the number of collisions grows geometrically. That is to say, if we have we have one ball, or Control Shift, balls, hits. If we have one ball, 0 hits. 2 balls, we have 1 hit. 3 balls, we now have to deal with ball 1 hitting ball 2, ball 1 hitting ball 3, and then ball 2 hitting ball 3. So there's 3 hits. If we have 4 balls, we now have 6 hits. If we have 5 balls, we have 10. If we have 6 balls, we have 15. If we have 7 balls, we have 21. 8 balls, we have 28. 9 balls, we have 36. And 10 balls, we have 50, or you have 45. And the way you figure it out is you take the number you're on and you add the previous number to the sum of all of the last one. So this was 0. So we go up 1 is 1. So now this is here. We had 2. Here we had 3. We had 4. We got 5. We had 6. We had 7. We have 8. And here we added 9. Sorry about that. So now, this would get really unmanageable very quickly if you were to have a game with a player and 5 or 6 enemies plus 10 or 15 blocks you can stand on. The number of collisions you have to write would get very, very large very quickly. And every time we have a collision, we have to write this huge chunk of code. It's very easy to make a dumb mistake because of just numbers going back and forth. So we want to take and move everything off to its own file to make it easier to work on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new file, which is going to be our first object, our first class. This class is really the recipe, and an object is the thing we make with the class. So this is going to be a recipe to make ourselves new balls. So File, Save As, and we'll make sure we're in the game in the right folder. I'm going to save it as ball.py, and that's with a capital B to differentiate the fact this is a recipe. We're going to the keyword class, and as parentheses, we'll talk about these parentheses later, but that's going to be really helpful, important, and colon. Now, everything we write, all the functions are going to sit inside of this class. So let's go and start copying stuff from ourselves. So the first thing I want to do is take the code that actually makes a ball. And we're going to put this in a function called def __ init __. And it's going to take self, which is this one. Now, this init is a magic special command. He gets called implicitly when we create a new ball. And we'll talk about that when we actually put this ball into our game and replace it. So we need to steal the creation of the ball. And I'm going to take the ball too, because he's got a lot of nice stuff in him. So I'm going to copy all that code. In fact, I'm going to just cut him. And we're going to put this into here. Now we need to tab everything and make sure everything's aligned properly. And what we're going to do is change the image from ball image 2, because we don't know which image. It could be the first, it could be the 7th, it could be the 100th, to just self.image. So this is my image, and it's going to load some image. And the rectangle is going to be self.rect. And our speed is going to be self.speed. And I actually want this a little more advanced. I'm going to self.speed x is equal to 7. Self.speed y is equal to 2. And when we create the speed, we're going to do self.speed x comma self.speed y. And that's so we can make some of our code more readable. And then finally, I'm going to do self.rad for our radius, not red, rad. And the last thing we're going to do is remove ourselves. And I'm just going to call self.speed rect is equal to, copy and paste this, some distance. And we're also want to make sure that every ball image, this is going to be self.image. And now we should be able to replace our ball with this new ball. So I'm going to take and replace this code here. So it's ball1 is equal to ball, and Control D to duplicate, and ball2 is equal to ball. This is a lot simpler. Of course, we run this, the two balls are going to start right on top of each other. So our next step is that we want to, and we have to also import it. So I'm going to import this directly instead of through import menu from ball import star. And what that really is make sure I copy this entire file. That way I don't do ball.ball. I just want to say ball. Let's try it again. Execute. And we should get the two balls started up and not working. Oh, Pygame is not defined. We need to copy our imports. So I'm going to copy that back over here. Now, this is typical. Getting started up, having lots of quick, stupid errors is a normal feature of adding features to code. Ball rect1 is not defined. So let's go to our ball.py. Oh, I missed when the ball rect. So we're going to go here and we're going to paste Control Z, self.rect. In fact, we're going to make this better because we can do self.rect there is in self.rect.width divide by 2. And then we're going to take that whole math and divide that by 2 to get a nice average. So if our ball's not exactly round, we'll still get a radius that makes some sort of sense. Now, our ball code shouldn't actually run because this code all refers to ball rect. I could go through and change all that, but we're actually just fix things. I just want to execute this up to the point where it crashes on this farther line, which is exactly where I want to fail. So this is ball rect not defined, and that happens on line 29 of ball demo. That is where I want to fail because now we have a starting point for our ball. Our next step is that we're going to take and make our ball more powerful so we can create have our ball move, collide off each other. So that will be our next video.